My best friend stole my idea and pitched it as his own. He signed the deal and cut me out. I congratulated him. 2 months later, the clients pulled out. They found out who really designed it. My name is Thomas, and I am a graphic designer. I am 38 years old, and I have been working at a design firm in San Francisco for over 10 years. The firm is not big, but it is well known for its creativity and quality. I have always been proud to be part of it. My work is my passion, and I have put my heart into every project I have done. 3 years ago, Alex joined the firm. He was new to the city and the industry, but he was talented and eager to learn. We quickly became friends. We would spend hours brainstorming ideas and working on designs. Our styles complemented each other, and together we created some of the firm's best work. We were a team, and I trusted him completely. Recently, we were working on a big project for a major client. It was a high-stakes proposal, and the pressure was intense. We spent weeks developing a concept that we both believed in. It was a mix of my experience and Alex's fresh ideas. We were sure it would impress the client and secure the deal for the firm. However, I started noticing small changes in Alex. During meetings, he seemed distracted and less communicative. He was more secretive about his work and avoided discussing certain aspects of the project with me. I shrugged it off, thinking maybe he was just stressed. I continued to focus on the project, believing he would come around. One day, I discovered something shocking. Alex had taken our joint concept and pitched it to the client as his own. He did not include my name or give me any credit. He secured the deal, and everyone at the firm celebrated his achievement. I felt a wave of disbelief and betrayal. How could someone I considered a friend and partner do this to me? In public, I congratulated Alex with a forced smile. Inside, I was hurt and angry, but I decided not to confront him immediately. I wanted to understand why he had done this and what his next move would be. I needed time to think and plan my response carefully. I spent the next few days reflecting on our friendship. I remembered all the hours we spent working together, the ideas we shared, and the trust one had in him. It was hard to accept that it was all over. The betrayal felt personal, and it left a void that was difficult to fill. Instead of reacting with anger, I chose to observe. I watched Alex closely, noting how he handled the project on his own. I saw that he started making changes to the original design. These changes were not improvements. They were adjustments to suit his own style. I worried because I knew these changes might cause problems later. But I kept my concerns to myself, waiting for the right moment to speak up. In the meantime, I began to quietly gather evidence of my original work. I had kept records of our brainstorming sessions, drafts, and emails. I documented everything, creating a timeline of events leading up to the pitch. I wanted to be prepared in case I needed to defend my contributions. I also started networking within the firm and outside. I reached out to colleagues and industry contacts, keeping the details of my situation private but staying informed about any developments. I wanted to make sure I had allies if things took a turn for the worse. It was a challenging time, but I stayed focused on my work. I knew that I had to remain professional and not let the betrayal affect my performance. I continued to deliver quality work on other projects, proving my value to the firm and maintaining my reputation. Deep down, I hoped that Alex would realize his mistake and come forward to make things right. But as days passed, it became clear that he was enjoying his success and the recognition that came with it. It was disappointing to see someone I once admired change so much. Despite the hurt, I remained patient. I believed that the truth would eventually come to light. I was determined to handle the situation with integrity and find a way to move forward. I knew that my time would come, and when it did, I would be ready to reclaim what was rightfully mine. For now, I continued to wait and watch, hoping for an opportunity to set things right and restore my place in the firm. After Alex pitched our concept as his own, I felt a deep sense of loss. The bond we had built over the past few years shattered in an instant. I was torn between confronting Alex and staying silent. Part of me wanted to demand answers, but another part knew that acting rashly might not be wise. I chose to wait and watch. The office atmosphere shifted. People congratulated Alex, celebrating his success. He basked in the glory, and I observed from the sidelines. He acted as if nothing had changed between us, but I could see the subtle differences in his demeanor. He avoided eye contact and seemed more absorbed in his own world. Inside, I battled with my emotions. Anger, disappointment, and sadness mixed together, but I kept a calm exterior. I realized that I needed to focus on my next steps. I spent my evenings reviewing every detail of the project. I organized my notes and emails, creating a comprehensive record of my involvement. I needed to be ready if the opportunity arose to present my side of the story. As the days passed, I noticed issues arising in Alex's project. The changes he made started to cause problems. The design was not functioning as intended, and the client's feedback became increasingly critical. I watched as Alex struggled to address their concerns. His lack of experience and understanding of the original concept became evident. I remained silent, observing each misstep. I knew these problems might lead to a bigger fallout, but I kept my thoughts to myself. I felt a sense of validation, knowing that my original design had been solid. I hoped the growing issues would prompt a review of the project. One afternoon, I received a call from Mark, an old acquaintance who worked for the client. He mentioned that the client was unhappy with the project and was considering a review. He hinted that they might look into the design's origins. This piece of information fueled my determination. I knew I had to be ready if they decided to investigate further. I continued my work at the firm, maintaining my professionalism. I completed my tasks diligently and avoided any confrontation with Alex. I wanted to ensure that my reputation remained intact. I also started networking more actively, building connections and strengthening relationships with colleagues. While I kept my distance from Alex, I could not help but notice the growing tension around him. Some colleagues began to whisper about the project's problems. A few even approached me, expressing surprise that my name was not associated with the original pitch. I appreciated their support but chose not to engage in gossip. I wanted to handle the situation on my terms. In my free time, I revisited the timeline of events leading up to the pitch. I reviewed every email and draft, ensuring that my documentation was thorough. I even found old sketches and notes from our brainstorming sessions. These pieces of evidence were crucial, and I treated them with care. Despite the challenges, I felt a growing sense of resolve. I knew that I had to play the long game and wait for the right moment. I was determined to reclaim my work and restore my reputation. I reminded myself that patience was key and that acting impulsively could backfire. As the project continued to unravel, I sensed a shift in the firm's dynamics. The initial excitement around Alex's success faded, replaced by murmurs of doubt and concern. People started questioning the project's direction and Alex's decisions. It was only a matter of time before the situation came to a head. I knew that I needed to be prepared for the moment when the truth would come to light. I had to stay focused and ready to present my case clearly and confidently. I continued to gather information and build my network of allies, knowing that I could not do this alone. Through it all, I remained hopeful. I believed that integrity and perseverance would guide me through this difficult time. I was committed to standing by my principles and finding a way to move forward. The road ahead was uncertain, but I was ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. The problems in Alex's project grew more serious. The changes he made to our original design began to unravel. The client was not happy with the delays, and dissatisfaction grew among their team. I watched from the sidelines, noting each flaw that Alex failed to address. I knew these were issues I had anticipated and planned for in my original design. Then, something unexpected happened. I received a call from an old acquaintance who worked for the client. Her name was Sarah. She mentioned that the client was starting to question the integrity of the design. They were considering a thorough review of the project. This news was a turning point for me. It confirmed that my patience and preparation might soon pay off. I took this as a signal to prepare for a strategic move. I meticulously compiled all evidence of my original contribution to the project. I gathered timestamps, drafts, and emails that clearly showed my involvement. I organized them in a way that would be easy for anyone to follow. I also reviewed the project timeline once more. I wanted to ensure that every detail was accurate and well documented. I knew that if I was going to present my case, it had to be precise and irrefutable. I left no stone unturned, checking and rechecking each piece of evidence. As I prepared, I remained cautious at work. I kept my interactions with Alex professional and brief. I did not want to give away any hint of my plans. I continued to deliver my best work on other projects, maintaining a strong reputation within the firm. I wanted to ensure that when the time came, I would be seen as a reliable and credible professional. Then, the moment I had been waiting for arrived. The client decided to initiate an internal review of the project. The news spread quickly through the firm, and the atmosphere changed. People began to speculate about what went wrong and who was responsible. I knew this was my chance to set things right. I reached out to Sarah, who had hinted about the review. She agreed to meet with me and listen to my side of the story. I presented my evidence to her, clearly and succinctly. I showed her the original concept, the drafts, and the changes Alex had made. Sarah was surprised but receptive. She understood the importance of my contribution and promised to bring my evidence to the client's review board. I felt a sense of relief, knowing that I had someone on the inside who believed in my work. I also found unexpected allies among my colleagues. Some of them had witnessed the dynamics between Alex and me from the beginning. They discreetly offered their support, providing additional insights and corroborating details about the project's inception. Their willingness to stand by me boosted my confidence. With the support of Sarah and my colleagues, I felt more prepared than ever. I knew that the truth would soon come to light. I remained focused, ready to face whatever outcome the review would bring. As the review date approached, I reflected on the journey so far. I thought about the friendship that had turned into betrayal and the challenges I had faced. I realized that despite the difficulties, I had grown stronger and more resilient. I was ready to reclaim my work and restore my reputation. The day of the review arrived, and I felt a mix of nerves and determination. I knew that my future at the firm depended on the outcome, but I also knew that I had done everything I could to prepare. I had gathered the evidence, found allies, and stayed true to my principles. I walked into the meeting room with my head held high, ready to present my case. I knew that the next few hours would determine the course of my career. I was ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead, knowing that I had the truth on my side. The review board listened intently as I laid out my evidence. I spoke clearly and confidently, presenting each piece of evidence in a logical order. I could see the board members' expressions change as they realized the extent of my contributions. The truth was finally coming to light, and I felt a sense of vindication. I knew that I had done everything I could to set things right. The journey was not over yet, but I was ready to face the next chapter with courage and determination. The review was underway, and my evidence was on the table. I felt a mix of anxiety and hope as I waited for the board's response. I knew that this was a critical moment, not just for the project but for my career and reputation. As the board members discussed my presentation, I took a moment to reflect on the support I had received. Several colleagues had stepped forward to back me. They had witnessed Alex's behavior and the dynamics between us. Their insights and testimonies added weight to my claims. I was grateful for their courage and willingness to stand by me. Their support reminded me of the importance of integrity and solidarity in the workplace. Lisa, a former colleague who had left the firm, had also been a key ally. She had ties with some of the client's executives and was instrumental in arranging the meeting with the review board. Her involvement was crucial, and I was thankful for her belief in me. She had always valued honesty and fairness, and her presence bolstered my confidence. The turning point came when Lisa revealed a crucial piece of information. She had a recorded brainstorming session where I had outlined the original concept. This recording was a game changer. It provided undeniable proof of my contribution and the project's true origins. The board listened carefully, and I could see a shift in their perception. With Lisa's help, I presented the recording to the board. The session captured the essence of our early discussions and my role in shaping the design. It was clear and compelling, leaving no room for doubt. The board members exchanged glances, and I sensed a change in the room's energy. The revelation was significant. It was the piece of evidence that tied everything together. The board now had a complete picture of the project's development and the changes that had led to its current issues. I felt a sense of relief, knowing that the truth was finally out in the open. As the review continued, I could see Alex's demeanor change. He appeared tense and uncertain. The board questioned him about the discrepancies in the project and his decisions. He struggled to provide satisfactory answers, and the evidence against him was overwhelming. I remained silent during Alex's questioning, allowing the evidence to speak for itself. I wanted to maintain my professionalism and let the board reach their conclusions without interference. I knew that actions were more powerful than words, and I trusted the process to deliver justice. The client's executives expressed their disappointment in the project's handling. They were taken aback by the extent of the deception and decided to pull out of the deal. It was a significant blow to Alex, and I could see the realization of his actions dawn on him. The loss of the deal was a consequence of his choices, and he would have to face the repercussions. After the meeting, Alex attempted to approach me. He looked remorseful, and I could see he wanted to apologize. But I was not ready for that conversation. The betrayal was still fresh, and I needed more time to process everything. I walked away, emphasizing that it was too late for words. Actions had consequences, and I hoped Alex would learn from this experience. The review ended with the board's decision to negotiate directly with me for future collaborations. They recognized the value of my work and expressed interest in working with me on new projects. It was a moment of vindication, and I felt a sense of accomplishment knowing that my integrity had prevailed. As I left the meeting, I reflected on the journey that had brought me to this point. It had been a difficult and emotional experience, but I had emerged stronger and more resilient. I had learned valuable lessons about trust, professionalism, and the importance of standing up for what is right. The support of my colleagues and the belief in my work had been instrumental in this outcome. I was grateful for the allies who had stood by me and the opportunity to rebuild my career. The future was uncertain, but I was ready to embrace it with confidence and determination. I knew that I had the skills, experience, and integrity to succeed, and I was eager to embark on this new chapter. The revelation during the review was a turning point. The truth was out, and the board had seen the evidence. I felt a mix of relief and validation. The hard work and patience had paid off, and I was ready to move forward. However, the situation with Alex was far from over. The client's board confronted Alex with the evidence. I watched as they laid out the facts, piece by piece. Alex's reaction was a mix of shock and denial. He tried to defend his actions, but the evidence was too strong. It was clear that he had taken our joint concept and passed it off as his own. I stood by silently, allowing the evidence to speak. I had no desire to engage in a confrontation. I wanted the truth to come out and for justice to be served. I watched as Alex's defenses crumbled, and he eventually accepted the reality of the situation. The clients were disappointed with Alex. They expressed their dissatisfaction and told him they were pulling out of the deal. It was a significant setback for him, and I could see the impact of their decision on his face. The loss of the deal was a direct result of his actions, and he would have to face the consequences. After the confrontation, Alex tried to approach me. He seemed remorseful, and I could sense he wanted to apologize. But I was not ready for that conversation. The betrayal was still fresh, and I needed time to process everything. I walked away, making it clear that words were not enough to mend what had been broken. With the deal off the table, the client's board turned to me. They acknowledged my contributions and expressed interest in working with me on future projects. It was a moment of vindication, and I felt a sense of accomplishment. I had proven my worth and integrity, and the board recognized it. The firm also took notice of the situation. My reputation within the company improved, and I received recognition for my work. Colleagues who had been silent during the ordeal now congratulated me on my perseverance and professionalism. It was a gratifying feeling, knowing that my efforts had not gone unnoticed. Despite the positive outcome, I felt a mix of emotions. There was a sense of loss for the friendship that had turned into betrayal. I reflected on the journey and the lessons I had learned. Trust was fragile, and once broken, it was difficult to rebuild. I realized the importance of being cautious and discerning in my relationships. The experience also taught me the value of integrity and resilience. Standing up for what was right, even when it was difficult, had been the correct choice. I had learned to trust in my abilities and remain patient in the face of adversity. These lessons would guide me in my future endeavors. With new opportunities on the horizon, I focused on rebuilding my career. The Clients Board offered me a chance to collaborate on new projects, and I eagerly accepted. It was an opportunity to start fresh and create work that reflected my values and creativity. I was excited to take on new challenges and prove my capabilities. I also took time to appreciate those who had supported me through the ordeal. Lisa became a key partner in my new ventures, and I was grateful for her unwavering belief in me. Her support had been invaluable, and I looked forward to working together on future projects. As I moved forward, I remained committed to transparency and mutual respect. I wanted to build a team that shared these values and fostered a positive work environment. I knew that creating a culture of honesty and integrity was essential for success. The journey had been challenging, but it had also been transformative. I had emerged stronger and more focused, ready to tackle whatever came next. The future was full of possibilities, and I was determined to make the most of them. As I closed this chapter of my life, I felt a sense of closure and optimism. I was ready to embrace new beginnings and continue growing, both personally and professionally. The experience had taught me that patience and perseverance were powerful tools, and I was prepared to use them to navigate the road ahead. With the ordeal behind me, I focused on the new opportunities that lay ahead. The experience had been tough, but I felt a sense of renewal. The Clients Board had offered me a chance to work on future projects, and I was eager to start fresh. It was an opportunity to showcase my creativity and integrity on my own terms. The firm recognized my contributions too. They offered me a chance to lead a new design division focused on innovation. I accepted, seeing it as a chance to rebuild and create a team that valued transparency and mutual respect. I wanted to foster an environment where everyone could contribute freely and feel appreciated. I took time to appreciate the support I had received during the ordeal. Colleagues who had quietly backed me now congratulated me openly. Their belief in my work was gratifying, and it fueled my determination to succeed. I was grateful for their trust and was committed to proving that they had made the right choice in supporting me. Lisa became a key partner in my new venture. We shared the same values, and I trusted her judgment and experience. Together, we began to lay the groundwork for the new design division. We wanted to create a team that was collaborative and innovative, where ideas could flow freely and openly. As I settled into my new role, I took time to reflect on the lessons learned. Trust, integrity, and resilience were at the core of my new approach. I wanted to build a team that shared these values, fostering a culture of honesty and mutual respect. I knew this was essential for success, and I was committed to making it happen. I began to receive recognition within the firm and from clients for my integrity and creativity. Offers for collaborations and new projects started to pour in. It was encouraging to see my reputation being rebuilt and my work being valued. I felt a renewed sense of purpose and was excited about the future. The new design division allowed me to explore new ideas and push creative boundaries. I encouraged my team to bring their unique perspectives and talents to the table. We worked together to develop innovative solutions and deliver outstanding results for our clients. It was rewarding to see the impact of our work and the positive feedback from clients. I also took time to reconnect with old friends and colleagues. The experience had taught me the importance of maintaining strong relationships and networks. I reached out to those who had supported me, expressing my gratitude and appreciation. Their encouragement had been instrumental in my journey, and I wanted to ensure they knew how much it meant to me. With the support of my team and partners, I felt confident in my abilities and direction. The challenges I had faced had made me stronger and more focused. I was determined to move forward with integrity and continue building a career that I could be proud of. The new beginnings brought a sense of hope and excitement. I was ready to embrace the opportunities that lay ahead and create a positive impact within the firm and the industry. I knew that the journey would not always be easy, but I was prepared to face whatever challenges came my way. As I reflected on my journey, I realized that the experience had shaped me in ways I had not anticipated. It had taught me the value of patience, perseverance, and standing up for what is right. These lessons would guide me as I continued to grow and develop in my career. The future was bright, and I was ready to seize the opportunities before me. I was committed to creating a legacy of integrity and excellence, and I knew that with the right mindset and approach, anything was possible. The road ahead was full of promise, and I was ready to embrace it with open arms. As I settled into my new role leading the design division, I took time to reflect on the journey that had brought me here. The challenges I faced had been difficult, but they had also been a source of growth and learning. I had emerged stronger with a clearer understanding of my values and goals. I had learned that trust is precious and must be earned and maintained. The experience with Alex had shown me that trust, once broken, is hard to rebuild. It taught me to be more discerning in my relationships and to value the support of those who stood by me. Integrity had been my guiding principle throughout the ordeal. It was the foundation of my actions and decisions. I believed that staying true to my values had ultimately led to my success. I was determined to carry this lesson forward and make it a core part of the culture in my new division. Resilience was another key lesson. The challenges had tested my patience and perseverance, but they had also shown me the power of standing firm in the face of adversity. I had learned to navigate difficult situations with grace and determination, and this resilience would serve me well in the future. As I looked towards the future, I felt a sense of hope and excitement. The new design division was thriving, and our team was producing innovative and impactful work. We had developed a reputation for creativity and excellence, and clients were eager to collaborate with us. I was proud of the team we had built. Each member brought unique skills and perspectives, and together, we created a dynamic and inspiring environment. We fostered a culture of openness and respect, where everyone felt valued and heard. It was gratifying to see our collective efforts result in success and recognition. Reconnecting with old friends and colleagues had also been rewarding. I had reached out to those who had supported me during the difficult times, expressing my gratitude and appreciation. Their encouragement had been a source of strength, and I wanted to ensure they knew how much it meant to me. Lisa became a key partner in my new venture, and our collaboration was a testament to the power of trust and mutual respect. We worked together seamlessly, sharing ideas and insights to drive our projects forward. Her experience and wisdom were invaluable, and I was grateful for her presence in my professional life. As I continued to grow and develop in my career, I remained committed to creating a legacy of integrity and excellence. I wanted to leave a positive impact on the industry and inspire others to pursue their passions with honesty and determination. The experience had taught me the importance of patience and perseverance. It had shown me that standing up for what is right, even when it is difficult, is worth the effort. These lessons would guide me as I navigated the road ahead, and I was prepared to face whatever challenges came my way. With new opportunities on the horizon, I felt a renewed sense of purpose and direction. The future was full of promise, and I was ready to embrace it with confidence and enthusiasm. I was determined to continue building a career that I could be proud of, and I knew that with the right mindset and approach, anything was possible. As I looked back on my journey, I realized that the challenges had been a catalyst for growth and transformation. They had shaped me into the person I am today, and for that I was grateful. I was ready to embark on this new chapter, armed with the lessons I had learned and the support of those who believed in me. The journey had not been easy, but it had been worthwhile. I had emerged stronger, wiser, and more focused, ready to take on whatever the future held. The road ahead was filled with possibilities, and I was excited to see where it would lead. With integrity, resilience, and determination as my guiding principles, I was confident that the best was yet to come. For more revenge stories, subscribe to the channel.